Welcome to my presentation. In this presentation, we shall try to see how to solve examples involving exponents using the laws of exponents. So let's say we have an example of this type. We want to simplify this particular problem. 5a to the power of 4, b to the power of -2, the whole thing divided by 10 times a times b to the power of 3 times c to the power of -1. So to solve these problems, let us use these following steps. We are going to use several laws of exponents to be able to solve these problems. And in this particular problem, this whole thing is raised to the power of -3. So that is what we have. So as a first step, we're going to recall some of the properties which we have, and then we will use all of those exponential properties to be able to solve these problems. First things, if we have a quotient a over b, and if that is raised to the power of m, every one of the terms inside the parentheses will be raised to that power, a to the power of m divided by b to the power of m. This is one law we will use. If we have a product a times b, and if that is raised to the power of m, every one of the terms inside the parentheses will be raised to that power, a to the power of m times b to the power of m. Also, if we have an exponent in the denominator, like a to the power of -m, we can bring it up to the numerator and write it out as a to the power of +m, like that. Or on the other hand, if we have a negative exponent like this, a to the power of -m, we can bring it down to the denominator and write it out as a positive exponent like that. All of these rules will be, we will try and apply them to be able to solve these problems. One more rule, a to the power of m, if we have an exponent, and if that exponent is raised to another power, we're going to write the base term once and then multiply the power terms like that. So now let us see if we can apply these rules to be able to solve these problems. So in here, we're going to first simplify the terms inside the parentheses, and then we will raise it to the power of 3. What I'm trying to say is this: 5 over 10, and then a to the power of 4 divided by a. I'm writing all the like terms together, and I have b to the power of -2 divided by b to the power of +3, and then the c term is by itself, and all of this is raised to the power of -3. Now I'm going to simplify this. The way to simplify this is as follows: 5 over 10 simplifies to 1 over 2, and then a to the power of 4, and I can write this as a to the power of 4 times a to the power of -1. I brought it up to the numerator. This means a to the power of +1. When I bring it up to the numerator, it becomes a negative exponent. So therefore, as long as the bases are the same, we can add the powers. And then similarly, I can write the b term. Since in the numerator I have b to the power of -2, I'll bring it to the denominator and write it out like this: b to the power of +2 times b to the power of +3. And then since c is in the denominator with a negative exponent, I'll bring it up to the numerator and write it out as a positive exponent like that. And therefore, we have written down all the terms as positive terms inside the brackets. So now we will simplify this some more. When we simplify this some more, this is what we're going to get: 1/2 a to the power of 4 minus 1. Since a to the power of 4, between a to the power of 4 and a to the power of -1, if we have a to the power of m times a to the power of n, since the bases are the same, we write the base once and then we combine the powers. We're going to do the same thing here. Since the base is the same, we're going to combine the exponential terms. So therefore 4 minus 1 will be 3, a to the power of 3, times 1 over b to the power of 2 and b to the power of 3, the bases are the same. We write the base once and then add the exponential terms. 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5, times c to the power of 1, or just c. So this whole thing, we want to raise it to the power of -3, like that. Now we're going to put all of this together inside the brackets. So we have a to the power of 3 c divided by 2 b to the power of 5. This whole thing is raised to the power of -3. So now we'll apply the concept here and then try to distribute every one of the terms inside the bracket to the power of -3. So we can write this one as a to the power of 3, the whole thing raised to the power of -3, c to the power of -3, this whole thing divided by 2 to the power of -3, times b to the power of 5, this whole thing is raised to the power of -3. So therefore we can write this as follows. We can write this one as follows. So in the numerator I have a to the power of -9. 3 times 3 is 9. Since we are multiplying the powers, we write the base term once, and 3 times -3 is -9. Then we have c to the power of -3 divided by 2 to the power of -3. 2 to the power of -3. Let me state that here. I'm going to write here 2 to the power of -3. I can write as 1 over 2 to the power of 3. Therefore 1 over 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So therefore I can write that as I can write this as equal to 1 over 8, like that. So 2 to the power of -3 I can write as 1 over 8, and then b to the power of 5 times -3 will be -15. So therefore I can write this as follows. I can write that as a to the power of -9 I can write as 1 over a to the power of +9. I can write c to the power of -3 as 1 over c to the power of +3, right? And then 1 over 8 I can bring that up right to the numerator as 8, and then I can write it as 8 over 1. b to the power of -15 I can bring it up to the numerator and write it out as b to the power of +15. So therefore if I put all of this together, I have 8 times b to the power of 15 divided by a to the power of 9, and then c to the power of 3. And this is where we want to leave it. This is our answer. This is the way we want to simplify these types of problems. And then as you can see, we have used several laws of exponents to be able to simplify this particular example problem. And it is common. So a lot of times we may have to use several laws of exponents to be able to solve a problem. The main point here is to be able to keep track of what steps we are following, and then to also make sure that we are in the right track, and also to make sure that we simplify as we move to the next step. So in my next presentation we will look at some more examples as to how to solve exponents using the laws of exponents.